Hi, Wes Lee, and welcome to the Mesonet Weather Report. It's the time of year when fruit growers hold their breath hoping to miss the last killing freeze. This chart is the minimum temperatures for Oklahoma City and Tulsa, showing February 24th as the last time a hard freeze occurred, allowing many of the fruit tree species to now reach the full bloom stage. While every year varies, we are still a few weeks away from the normal last spring freeze date. Shown here are the median freeze dates where half the last freeze dates were before and half were after the date shown. It is not the latest freeze date by location, which would be much later in April and even into early May in the north. For Oklahoma City, you can see how variable the last freeze occurred just over the last 10 years, as early as March 6th and as late as April 24th. According to this chart on peaches, we need to stay above 26 degrees after bloom to ensure that fruit will survive this year. Our next statewide freeze appears in the forecast for this weekend, coming severely close to the temperatures needed to kill peach blooms. Even if we make it through this weekend unscathed, more cold fronts will likely need to be dodged for a good peach crop. Now here's Gary with a new drought map.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, we once again had some really good rainfall amounts across the state. Unfortunately, they weren't across northwestern Oklahoma, the area that needs it the most. Let's take a look at that newest drought monitor map and see where we're at. Well, it's the same basic pattern we've had over the last couple of months. Improving conditions across the southeastern half of the state. Pretty dire conditions across the northwestern half of the state. So that's the story for Oklahoma. And it's been that way for months, with areas to the south and east of I-44 still needing a little bit more rain, but areas to the northwest of there needing a lot more rain. And we have a very interesting rainfall pattern if we look back to the percent of normal rainfall since October 1st, 2022. We see those enormous precipitation amounts across California, especially the southern two-thirds of California up into Nevada. But you see the driest part of the country since October 1st is the Oklahoma Panhandle, also included with the southwestern portion of Kansas and southeastern Colorado. So that's epicenter of the drought currently in the United States, unfortunately, northwestern Oklahoma and the surrounding areas. What do our outlooks look like from the Climate Prediction Center? These span April through June, so the bulk of our rainy season. We see increased odds for above normal temperatures across the entire state, especially across the southwestern third of the state. For precipitation, not a good look for western Oklahoma and the Panhandle. Increased odds of below normal precipitation, especially across the very western tip of the Oklahoma Panhandle. So that's not good news if it comes to fruition for the folks in the worst part of the drought out there. And finally, the drought outlook, this extends through June 30th of this year. Unfortunately, we do see that drought expected to persist across the western fourth of the state, including the Panhandle, but with some improvements and possible removal to the east of there. So that would certainly be good news for the folks east of that line. So we see with the spring rainfall coming on, hopefully we get some improvements in some parts of the state. Now, we do hope that that spreads up into northwest Oklahoma. Time will only tell, unfortunately. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.